Today we're going to talk about brand names and how to pronounce them.
So before we begin today's lesson, we'd like to remind you to subscribe to our channel for more video lessons on how you can practice and improve your English. So a while back, we received a comment from somebody who asked, I hope you guys can create a video that will teach us how to say some brands correctly. And that is exactly what we're going to do today.
Yay! As always, we appreciate your feedback. And if you have any questions, we'll do our best to answer them, hopefully with a video. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go over 25 words, 25 brands that we're going to pronounce for you. But this pronunciation that we're doing is the American or English pronunciation of the brands.
That's how native English speakers would say it. Keep in mind that a lot of these brands are not from English-speaking countries, and that means that Americans like me will take the name and the pronunciation that it is intended to be, and we will bastardize it and mispronounce it, and then it just becomes, mainstream.
It's important to know that even though we might not say the pronunciation the way it is intended to be said, people need to be able to understand and hear you and recognize what you're saying. Mm-hmm. So that's why this is valuable.
So we'll explain a little more as we go along, but right now, let's begin. Number 1, IKEA. I think that anybody who is not from Sweden possibly pronounces this wrong, because in Sweden they say IKEA, and even maybe I still might be mispronouncing it. But if you're in the US or Britain, I think most people pronounce it IKEA, and that's what they understand.
IKEA. Yeah, get you some end tables and some of them $5 lamps, man.
So if you were to say, I'm going shopping today, I got this new stuff from IKEA, people in America would be like, where is that?
Okay, number 2, Nutella. Correctly, it's Nutella, and that's how I say it because I love it and it's my favorite. But Americans like Wes will say
Nutella.
It's similar, but there's a little. Nutella is my favorite brand so far because of all the chocolate, of course.
She even has a shirt. Number 3, Coke. Now, this is perhaps one of the most famous brands in the world, and most of us, I think, know how to pronounce it, but make sure that you are saying it with the long O sound, Coke. We had a student a while back who pronounced it with the short O and kept saying cock, all right? That means something different. It is slang in English for... I remember he was telling us a story that he went out to a restaurant and the waitress asked him, what would you like to drink? And he said, I would like some cock. And it just, yeah. In the end, he eventually did get his Coke, so everything worked out, and I'm pretty sure he's pronouncing it correctly now. This is, it's a very innocent mistake, but, and this is how pronunciation can cause a lot of confusion among different people.
Give me cock. Oh, please give me cock. I want a cock.
It's Coke.
Number 4, Tommy Hilfiger. Because this is a name, I think people may mispronounce the last name. The first name, I think it's easy, Tommy, everyone knows that, but Hilfiger might be a little bit more confusing. So that's how you pronounce it.
Tommy Hilfiger. Number 5, Hyundai, or as I think a lot of Americans say, Hyundai. And this one, it's...
Hyundai or Honda?
Hyundai. This is a Korean brand, so again, it takes on a very different pronunciation. I'm not really sure why, but that's just the way it is.
Number 6, Nike. Now, I've heard people say Nike before. They dropped the E, which kind of makes sense if you think about it.
That's what it looks like.
It looks like, but it's not. It's actually Nike, from the old Greek goddess, actually. Nike. And because it's an American company, I guess this is the correct pronunciation.
Looks like Nike, but we say Nike. Number 7, Adidas. This is a German company, and it's actually a portmanteau, which is the combination of two words. So you have Adi, which is the nickname of Adolf, and Das from Dassler, Adolf Dassler, who is the person who started all of this, Adidas. So if you're looking for this shoe, it's Adidas.
Number 8, Sephora. With this word, just make sure you know that the PH makes an F sound. Sephora.
This is one of Ioana's favorite brands.
Oh yeah, I could live there.
Number 9, Porsche. So in the US, a lot of people either say Porsche or even shorten it and say Porsche. But apparently the company even made a video as to how to pronounce this a while back.
Porsche.
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 Porsche. I think in the US, if you said you want to buy a Porsche, people would probably ask you what that is. Again, I think a lot of native English speakers would say Porsche or Porsche. We don't drive a Porsche or a Porsche or a Porsche.
Number 10, Louis Vuitton. And in French, it's Louis Vuitton. I don't said it wrong again.
How is it? How does that go
I
again?
don't know.
Say it again.
Vuitton.
Okay.
Louis Vuitton.
But I would say Louis Vuitton because
But I don't know
American.
the French. I'm not French either, so I'm Louis Vuitton. Anyway, it's Louis Vuitton.
yeah, many native English speakers would say Louis Vuitton.
My very own Louis Vuitton!
Number 11, Samsung. It's a Korean company, so I think the correct pronunciation technically would be Samsung, but a lot of people, native English speakers, would pronounce it Sam and not Sam. So they'd say Samsung. But if you did say Samsung, people will still know what you're talking about. What kind of phone do you have? I have a Samsung. What kind of phone do you have?
I have an iPhone. Number 12, Versace. Now, the correct pronunciation in Italian is Versace, but if you're talking to somebody who is a native English speaker and you want them to understand you, you'd say Versace. There you go.
The E at the end, Versace.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a Versace?
No, too expensive.
Number 13, it is a car company, and it is pronounced Chevrolet. I'm not really sure the history behind this word. The spelling is not necessarily like it sounds, especially the T at the end. It's not pronounced, so we just say Chevrolet.
Or Chevy.
Yeah, or you could say Chevy for short, not Chevrolet.
Number 14, Stella Artois. Or you can just, yeah, it's pretty good. You can just say Stella. But, I mean, I think it's pretty close to the actual French pronunciation.
Stella Artois.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Stella.
Stella
I'll have a
Artois.
Stella.
Yeah, so if you want a beer, it's a Stella Artois or a Stella.
Son, you know what I mean, don't you know?
Stella Artois.
Number 15, Adobe. So this is a word that many of you might know from computers, and it's pronounced Adobe. So the first A is the schwa sound, and the E at the end is the long E sound. It's not Adobe, it's not Adobe, it's Adobe.
Or Adobe. I can see
Or
people say
Adobe?
Not Bay, just Adobe. I can see
Adobe.
people say that.
Okay.
Please don't ignore me like I was just some update from Adobe.
Number 16, Abercrombie and Fitch. Now this is a really long name, so it's mispronounced many times, but that's the correct pronunciation. Actually, Wes, I think, says Finch, but it's not Finch, it's Abercrombie and Fitch.
I used to, but from now on,
No more. The T is silent, so keep that in mind in Fitch. Abercrombie and Fitch.
Number 17, Volkswagen. This is a German car company, so I think in German they would pronounce it Volkswagen. Is that pretty good? Yeah?
I think so.
In the US, a lot of native English speakers would say Volkswagen, so you'd hear that W sound in there. Volkswagen. Volkswagen is
That's
what.
how they say it.
What, like the back of a Volkswagen?
Volkswagen!
Have you ever had one?
No.
I like the buggies, the old, 60s. Number 18, Anthropologie. Now, this is French sounding, so I've heard people say Anthropologie or something, but it's Anthropologie. It's an American company, so it's Anthropologie. It just looks fancy.
Do you shop there?
No, it's so expensive. Like, one thing is like $400.
Yeah. Number 19, Huawei. This is a company from China whose pronunciation, again, not like it sounds. I think a lot of people would say Huawei. They would pronounce the H, even though I think it might just be Huawei. And I should probably know this because, boom, I have a Huawei.
He's very proud of it.
I am very proud of my Huawei.
Now let's see if they'll be able to pronounce it. How would you pronounce this word?
Hawaii?
Hawaii?
Hawaii. Hawaii.
I think this was okay. It does the job most of the time.
Number 20, Levi's. This is actually another one of my favorite brands because they're classic jeans and it's just, they fit really well. But it's not Levi or Levi Strauss, or it's just Levi's.
Girl, you got the beat right, killing in your Levi's, high on your lovin', got me buzzing like a street.
Number 21, for all you beer lovers out there, Budweiser. You can find it all over the world, but the correct pronunciation is Budweiser. Or I guess you could shorten it and say Bud.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like a Budweiser, please.
Number 22, H&M. Now, H&M is different in each country, I think. So I know in Romania, for example, some people say H&M because...
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
H&M in English. So if you want to find the store, and we all know we love H&M because it's cheap and trendy, there you go. That's where you go. H&M.
Just pronouncing the two letters as they are in the English alphabet.
Yep.
Number 23, Jack Daniels. This is a whiskey brand, so if you're out and you want to get some whiskey, it is pronounced Jack Daniels. I know I've heard some people, depending on where they are, like in East Asia, Daniel, but Daniel, Jack Daniels. Or you could just say Jack.
Yeah, Jack and Coke.
Yeah, Jack and Coke. Or if you would like it...
Jack and Cock. No.
Jack and Cock. No, you don't want to say Jack and Cock. Or if you'd like ice in the drink, you could say, I'd like some Jack on the rocks, which is another expression for you. Ice on the rocks.
2 Jack Daniels, 1 on the rocks, and a Heineken.
Number 24, Nestle. Now, this is another European company, and I think correctly it's Nestle, but Americans will pronounce it Nestle.
Nestle. Yeah. Nestle. Again, you don't pronounce the T. Nestle. Nestle. Nestle.
Good chocolate stuff.
Win this one, and there's Nestle Quick for everyone.
Quick? Nestle Quick? I gotta have you, Nestle Quick!
Number 25, Corona. This is a beer from Mexico, so the pronunciation, Corona. A lot of native English speakers would just say Corona. 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 So if you'd like to try Mexican beer, you can order a Corona.
More of a Corona man myself.
Now what we'd like you to do is write and tell us your favorite brand in the comments below. Tell us why you like it, how often you use it.
Try to write as much as possible because that's another way of practicing your English.
Mm-hmm. Also, we'd like you to share this video, especially if you have heard others mispronounce any of these brands. Let's discuss and share. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. What's your favorite brand?
I think it's a tie between Nutella and Sephora.
Okay. I think I could have guessed that.
Just make sure that you know that... Blah, 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 blah. See what I did there? So where are we looking? Are we looking? Because I'm looking in there, but I should...